Hello, I'm Coral, and there is a car alarm going off. It's just been going off. Tried to wait, but I don't have all the time in the world. So here I am with my TBR. I'm gonna close my window, maybe that will help. Anyways, I'm here today with the books that I plan on reading in May. At first I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take it easy, but then I was like, oh, I have to read this, and I want to read this, and then I have to read this, and I'd really like to read this, and now there's like 9 books here. We'll get through this together. So first off is a true crime book I've been meaning to get to. This is Rites of Burial. Oh my god. By Tom Jackman and Troy Cole. Oh, there it is. It's done. That's it. Goodbye, car alarm. This is about Bob Berdella, who was a serial murderer who targeted young men. He was brutal. He tortured them and killed them. He ran this shop called Bob's Bizarre Bazaar. And really, it's just one of those cases where some people were like, oh yeah, I can see this happening, and other people were like completely floored by it. So, really interesting, terrible, sad case. This guy was awful. The things that he did to people were fucking terrible, and I'm gonna read about it. Next up is one of my 5-star predictions. This was actually from last month, and I'm only about 40 pages into it. 30, just kidding, 30. This is the Cipher by Kathe Koja. This was published in the early 90s. It was featured in Paperbacks from Hell. It is really extremely hard to find a decently, and I shouldn't say decently, it's hard to find a copy of the, you know, like cover that everyone wants, of the edition that everyone wants. It's probably Delibis, I think, because that's what her other books were published under. So this one's reprinted, and it's hard to find a copy that I can afford. It's just hard to find a copy at all, and then like also a copy that I can justify spending money on. So this so far is about a guy named Nicholas and his friend Nakota, and Nakota is kind of an interesting character. She's kind of strange and mean, and Nicholas is kind of a pushover, and they find this hole in his apartment complex in like the storage room, and strange things happen when you put something near it or in it. Strange things happen. They call it the fun hole. Next on my list is another 5-star prediction. This is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. I have hair. I have lots of hairs, but that one was in my face. This is a post-apocalyptic story about a father and son who are traveling the road, and I've heard very many sad things about this book. I've heard that it's just a hard hitter. I watched the movie forever ago, whenever it came out. I think it was in high school. I don't really remember what happened. I just remember that Viggo Mortensen was in it, and I love the Lord of the Rings movies, so I'm pretty sure that's why I watched it. It says it won a Pulitzer Prize, so I don't want to get too far into the synopsis. I don't really want to know what it's about. I just want to be surprised and made to feel much grief, I guess. I don't know. Next on my list is this beautiful cover, this beautifully covered book called Along the Path of Torment by Chandler Morrison. This is about a young man named Ty who is in Hollywood, and he's an assistant to his uncle who runs a lucrative child sex ring. So I know it's gonna be hard-hitting. Chandler Morrison, that's what he does. I've never read any of his books. I don't really read a lot of extreme horror. I'm pretty sure that this is, you know, labeled as that. So that's on my list. Also, a book I meant to get to last month and just did not, but I knew I might not, and I planned for it to be read this month anyways. This is Human Flesh by Clausen. This was a birthday gift from my friend Doris. She is just so nice. So I don't know anything about this except for the back says, during the winter 2017, a series of strange occurrences took place in a small town of northern Maine. I think that this is a monster. It looks like maybe it might be a Wendigo. I don't know. But I've heard people say good things about it. And I really like a vague synopsis because I really like to be surprised by what happens in the book. Next on my list is The Push by Ashley Audrain. I believe this came out this year. Yeah, this came out this year. This is about a mother who has a child, a daughter who she really does not feel connected to. She feels like there might be something wrong with that child, and then that feeling deepens when she has a second child who she does feel very connected to. And that's all I really know about this, and that's all I want to know. I'm hoping that this might be a creepy child's book. Maybe something along the lines of We Need to Talk About Kevin, although I haven't read that. I've only seen the movie, but like I know that that's what it's about because I've seen the movie. So maybe it will be like that. Maybe like Baby Teeth by Soya Stage. I don't know. I'll have to see. So next on my list is the Buzzword readathon book for this month. The prompt is to read a book with house or home in the title. I'm picking up Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. This one I actually really wanted to pick up earlier this year, but I waited for this prompt. This is his newest release. He is releasing a book again this year. He really just pumps them out. Good for him. So this one I'm especially interested in. Like, I've liked all his books thus far, and I was really pleasantly surprised by Lock Every Door because it had really kind of a Rosemary's Baby vibe. And then this, from what I've heard, has a Amityville horror vibe where the character was, in the past, had lived in a house that was supposedly haunted, and now she's going back as an adult to see what really happened. So excited about this one. By far, I think my favorite cover of his with the screen. Yeah, I'm just very excited to see what's going on with this, and then I'll be caught up with his books and I can read Survive the Night when it comes out. Next on my list, I have a couple of YA fantasies. This one is House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. And I think that this is a twist on the 12 Dancing Princesses fairy tale where the princesses go and they, are dancing at night, but like darker. So it says that Annalie lives a sheltered life at Highmoor and Manor upon the Sea with her sisters and their father and their stepmother. Once there were 12, but loneliness fills the grand halls now that 4 of the girls' lives have been cut short. Each death was more tragic than the last. The plague, a plummeting fall, a drowning, a slippery plunge. And there are whispers throughout the surrounding villages that the family is cursed. So that's just the first part of the synopsis. It goes in a little bit deeper, but I don't really want to know. I just want to read it. I've heard that this is a really great, atmospheric, creepy, dark fantasy, so I'm into it. Next on my list, since I've been so good so far this year with picking up series and trying to finish them within a timely manner, I actually was caught up on and or finished 3 different series last month. So I read Strange the Dreamer in January, I believe, and so I'd like to read the sequel. It's only a duology, so this is the last book and then I'll be like caught up. This is Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. In the first book, we're following a young man named Laszlo who is a librarian. He's really interested in this kind of lost civilization, this lost city called Weep. And wouldn't you know it, some people from Weep show up and they need some help with some stuff. They recruit people and Laszlo ends up being able to go on the expedition with them. And it's really just, Laini Taylor has genuinely beautiful writing. I felt that about her Daughter of Smoke and Bone series. I only read the first book and I wasn't interested in the plot so much, but her writing is just really, it feels nice to read. I like Strange the Dreamer a lot, so I hopefully will like Muse of Nightmares just as much. Last on my list is Certain Dark Things by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. I almost forgot because I have an arc of it. I meant to get to it last month and I didn't, and that's okay. It comes out, well, it doesn't, the reprint comes out in September. It's currently out of print, but Tor Nightfire, Tor's horror imprint, is picking it up. They're reprinting it. This cover is so fucking cool And this book is something about a vampire teaming up with a human, and there is like some, I don't know if mafia is quite the word, but like some underground crime syndicate stuff going on in this like city, and it seems so cool. It sounds so cool. I'm very excited to get ahead of it, and when I read that, of course, I will make a video and I will let y'all know how much I liked it. I really loved Mexican Gothic, which I know is really hit or miss for people, and that's fine, but I'm very excited about certain dark things. I don't read a lot of vampire stuff, but, and I don't know why that is. Sometimes it just feels like, oh, this is the same old thing, kind of. But this seems less focused on her just being a vampire, the main character being a vampire, so we'll see how this goes. It sounds like it's gonna be good. So that is what I plan on getting to this month. Let me know if you've read any of these and if you liked them. Love to hear. Spoiler free, of course. I have not read them yet, but I'd still like to know what you thought about them. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all later. Goodbye.